Hello, I am Yangie Deborah Sesay from Sierra Leone. I am currently doing a master's in international communication. So, my topic of discussion will be on teaching methods and learning. So, from Africa, firstly, I want to establish that we still have the traditional system of education, which does not encourage much of the use of technology, but we still believe in the traditional method of reading books and using pre and what we've been used to as the normal way of learning process in West Africa and in Sierra Leone to be precise. So where in education is basically teacher based. You understand? You have to take what the lecturer tells you, the perspective of the lecturer. You don't have to critique, you just have to follow. Follow, lead, and you follow. But here in China, coming in China, I envisage series of challenges. Firstly, as I mentioned, we are used to the traditional teaching methods, and here in China, lecturers and professors encourage you to make use of technology, especially with the emergence of AI. Making use of technology has its good and bad sides, but one thing they firstly encourage students is that you should tap into this new sphere, into this new environment, because the world is moving, the world is changing, and therefore they want the young minds, the young generations to tap into this new environment and ensure that they keep up with the pace, which of course us from Africa, we are not used. We are back, even with AI, talking about AI. When you talk about AI and in Africa, we are still in the digital era. We've not advanced to AI era yet. So it's something that was of a challenge to me and some other African students in my class. And also, we have the interactive sessions. Firstly, I did a BA in mass communication. We did do interactive classes, practical experiences, but here in China, it's a bit more advanced and a bit more intensive because they encouraged you. You are paired into groups, maybe two or three groups for you to have series of discussions with regards to certain topics and all. And also, it's like a free environment, a fresh environment they create for each and every student to open your mind. You're not limited here in China. I think a month ago, I had a discussion with my cousin who told me that there is a certain professor, sorry to say this, that does not allow them to take a phone in the class. And even if you take the phone to the class, you should not record his lecture. So I found that strange because sometimes you have to record certain sessions for you to go back, reflect on what you or what the professor said, for you to have your own better perspective and for you to elaborate more on a certain topic. And also language barrier was a challenge. Now we can say ni hao, now we can say taiguela, now we have lots of words we can say, but at the first 2 months in China, it was a bit of a challenge. Cultural difference and time management was also a challenge for us, but because it's like Chinese people are very disciplined, they are very disciplined in whatever area, whether it's timing, whether it comes to education. And I think that's one of the reasons why China has thrived. And for me, I will always say I consider China as a first world country in as much as they are saying they are developing country. Because when you come to China, you see the advancement in technology and how they make use of technology. You would attest to the fact that no, they are not just a developing country, but a first world country. And okay, next slide, please. So adapting to all this was a bit of a challenge, but there are gains which I know. It's not just about presently what I have learned, but how I will make use of what I have learned being here in China, especially with the use of AI. Now we had a particular course which was new media, and we talked about technological determinism. We were encouraged that in as much as you're making use of technology or making use of AI, you should not be extra dependent on AI. There is a limit on how you can make use of AI, which of course that's a skill I've learned, that in as much as you're making use of AI, know what you should take from AI, know the prompt that you should give to AI for you to get the results that you are looking for. So that skill on how to navigate through the use of AI, whether it's ChatGPT, whether, even here, like professors encourage you, okay, you don't know the answer, okay, check through ChatGPT. Hey, you can do it in Africa. You definitely can't do it in Africa. You have to go the manual way. So I think that has broadened my horizon and my knowledge as well. And also with networking, we are here from different countries, in as much as we are from Africa, but we are from different countries, different cultures, definitely, different perspective, different way of lives. And so networking and interacting with other colleagues, you understand that in as much as we are all from Africa, but we have our own distinct distinction between us, which of course I've also learned from my other African peers. And also understanding journalism and communication as a whole, because China practice a different form of journalism, which of course in Africa we practice the watchdog role of journalism. Chinese practice what is it again? Constructive journalism, wherein you have to project positive. In as much as there are challenges there, yes, we acknowledge that there are challenges, but what's the way forward? What's the solution? That's what China is practicing, and that's what I think Africa, and for myself, that's what I've learned, that when I return back in my institution, no matter what the challenges are, in as much as looking at the challenges, but I will leap forward to look at how can we find solutions to these challenges, how can we jump over these hurdles to ensure that we create the needed change in my institution. And I don't want to take much of the time, and so therefore I will just encourage each and every student listening, or whether you're a professor or any other capacity you serve in, that when you're in a new environment, embrace the challenges, embrace the changes it comes with, learn, rediscover yourself. And when you rediscover yourself, ensure that you take the positive sides, create that positive sides, and create that environment in yourself, that when you go back home, you will influence not just yourself, but also the people you walk around with. Thank you very much.